Why is it so hard to stay consistent on the things that matter to you? It's not because you're lazy and it's not because you're unmotivated. It's because you're using a strategy that wasn't made for humans. I'm going to show you two simple shifts I made in my life that made doing the work that actually mattered to me a lot easy, even if it was boring. And I'm going to show you how you can do the same thing too. But before I show you the changes I made, we've got to lay down the foundation for why those changes work. And if you don't understand this, you're not going to take the advice I give you. So let's start off by talking about dogs, right? Imagine you're trying to teach a dog how to sit, but you don't have any treats. And you don't even pet the dog. You just with the dog and he's telling it to sit. And he's just looking at you like, what? Okay, what? How hard is it gonna be to teach that dog how to sit? Really hard. But imagine you had treats. And now you can hold this thing up and the dog is like, well, I want these treats, so let me do some stuff, and then magically it sits and then you give it a treat and it says, oh wait, maybe there's something to this thing. It's gonna be like easier to teach that dog how to sit when you have treats. Now, why does this matter? Imagine you are trying to get something you don't want to get done off willpower, discipline, brute force alone. You're going to be like that trainer trying to teach a dog how to sit without treats. You're going to struggle. It's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. And yeah, you can get through it and grunt and ground your way through it, but you're more likely going to burn out in the process. Your mental health is going to be trash, and you're going to just continue down this path of struggle, struggle, struggle. Like, you don't have to do that. You can learn what drives us, like we learn what drives dogs. Treats. So what drives us? And what happens when you learn that and can use that to your advantage? Well, this job I work right now, I work from home, and all I do is call people, like businesses and organizations, and offer them sponsorships. And in the very beginning of this job, I was given a objective, or like a daily goal to hit 30 calls a day. And when I tell you I struggled to make those calls, I procrastinated on it. I pushed it off. I did not want to be calling these organizations and saying, hey, my name is Faith and I'm from, you start these conversations. I was nervous. And I remember ending each day just struggling to get through. And one day I was just sitting there like, I need to do something different because this isn't working. And if I want to keep working this job with my mental health intact, I got to figure out a different way. And I'm thinking, well, what can I do? And then the idea came to me. What if I just got a sticky note and put it on my laptop? Every time I get a call, I can put a tally mark. And then all I got to do is get to the finish line of, 6 tally marks of 5, because that would be 30. I'm sorry if you're not good at maths, you might tune out. But why not just do that? And so I kept making calls, and every time I made a call, I wrote down another tally mark. Eventually, start seeing it grow. And I started seeing with every call, I was getting closer and closer and closer to the finish line. Ever since I started marking each call I made and having tally marks, making the calls has been extremely easy for me and enjoyable because now I'm no longer just making a call to make the call. I'm making the calls to get to the finish line, and I can actually see the finish line. I low-key made it into a game, and that drove me to enjoy what was at first a hard, frustrating, overwhelming task for me. By just flipping it into a game, by giving myself a treat, it made it easier for me to do the task. That is what happens when you learn the strategies I'm going to give you for influencing your human behavior. You will be in a task you don't want to do, and you will learn, and you think, well, how can I make it something I want to do? And you'll be able to use these tactics to turn into something you actually enjoy. This actually can work for you. And that's why I'm putting it on so hard in the beginning, because I want you to understand it is possible with these tactics I'm going to give you. So you have a choice now. You can either keep struggling with willpower and discipline and just forcing yourself to get the stuff done. You can keep going down that route. Or you can learn what actually drives us as human beings, put that into your life, and actually enjoy the work and not have to struggle to get it done. You have that choice. It is up to you. But if you want to enjoy the work and enjoy life and everything that comes with it, you gotta understand there's two big things that motivate us as humans. And these aren't the only things that motivate us, but for the sake of this video, I'm only gonna give you two. It is a deadline and a trackable number. And if you can add one or both of those things into a task you just don't want to do, no matter what it is, it could be you cleaning up the dishes. It could be you having to do some task at work you don't want to do. It could be you doing the chores, taking out trash. It can be you going for a walk, exercise, whatever it is, that you don't want to do. Cooking, clean, whatever it is. If you can add either a deadline or a trackable number or both into those things, it will make it much more enjoyable and you will not struggle to do those things. So I'm going to go through each one, deadline and trackable number, so you can get a better understanding of them and get an idea of how you can use this into your life. All right, I'm not going to give you like steps to do this. I'm going to give you like the principle behind it and then you got to use that and apply it to your life because your circumstance is different than mine. So let's dive into the first one. Now, the first thing we're going to cover is adding a deadline to your task, and then we're going to get into trackable numbers later. Now, adding a deadline gets its power from the Parkinson's law. Sorry, I was like struggling. But the Parkinson law basically states work expands to fit the time allocated for it. So for example, let's say a teacher grabs a student and says, hey, do this project and get it done within a month. But more than likely, that student will get that project done within the month. Now imagine that a teacher grabs a different student and says, hey, do this exact same project, but within 2 weeks. Well, within 2 weeks, that project more than likely will be done. So, what it shows is that it's not the amount of time you have to something that helps you get it done. It's the fact that you have a cutoff time that pushes you to get things done. Because if there is no time attached to something, then work is going to expand into infinity and beyond, because Parkinson's law states work expands to fit the time allocated for it. If there's no time allocated for when you want to get something done, you will always have the ability to say, oh, I'll get to it later. You'll procrastinate, you push it off because you have time to do it. It expands into infinity and beyond. But when you say, actually, this has to be done at 5 p.m., you no longer can push things off. You have to say, oh, wait, okay, I need to go ahead and get this done. Because it has to be done by 5 p.m. You have this drive now to get it done. Parkinson's law. So now that you understand this, how can you use this in your life? Let me give you an example. When I am microwaving anything in the kitchen, whatever timer I put up there, that's the time I have to like speed run and clean the kitchen. Because I don't really care too much to clean, but I know it's got to get done. And so whenever let's say I'm warming up my dinner, right? I have 3 minutes on that clock. I'm over here speed run, do the dishes, like boom, 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 boom. Like I'm literally feeling like I'm on a mission because I want to get it done before the timer goes off. So I'm cleaning dishes good. I ain't like doing a bad job. I'm not disgusting. So I'm cleaning everything up, getting what I got to get done, wiping down the counter, wiping down the stove, and by the time I'm done, the kitchen is clean and my dinner is ready for me to eat. I turn the cleaning, which is a chore that most people, freaking washing dishes, a chore most people don't want to do, into a game, all because I added a microwavable timer to that task. So that's an example of how you can use the Parkinson's law to your favor, add deadlines to tasks you don't want to get done, and that will give you that drive. It acts like a motivator to get you to get going. Now, the next thing you can do is add a trackable number. We love seeing progress, and that is what trackable numbers give you. It gives you a sense of progress that you can control. Like imagine you were watching a basketball game, and there is no scoreboard. You can't see the progress. You don't know who's winning. The game would be boring because you don't know who's in the lead, what's happening. You're only gonna know who's won until the very end. So it's like, why do you even watch the basketball game? You don't care because there's no trackable number. Even imagine like how much we love progress. When you go to a gym and you work out for a week, even though you know it's gonna take time before your muscles, your body really changes, you're already looking to see if there's like your stomach's toner, if your arms are bigger. We love progress. So if we can put progress that we can see immediate into our face, we're more likely to keep doing that thing because we love to see progress. So if we can add progress into a task we don't want to do, we'll more than likely do it. So how can we add this into our lives? Me and my girl, we live on a trail. There are trees everywhere, okay? Which means bugs will come in, all right? There's no way. We do what we can to keep them out, but when they come, they come. I don't like killing bugs. She don't like killing bugs, but someone's got to do it. And we had this tally on the refrigerator where we would write down how many bugs we had killed. And I remember I went into the bathroom and I saw this water bug on the top of the ceiling. Well, top of the ceiling. It was on the ceiling, and my heart immediately like froze. I'm like, oh my God, I hate killing bugs on the ceiling because they gotta fall down. And I got it close enough to spray them, and then they felt like I hate it. But in that moment, my heart didn't freeze because I didn't want to kill it. It was actually excitement. I was excited because I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to get my new tally. I'm going to get my tally. I grabbed that bug spray, sprayed it, and then put on the refrigerator another tally for me because I was winning. That is how crazy adding a trackable number is, like, to your behavior. Like, it's so insane that I went from I hate killing water bugs, I don't want to be around them, to we literally put up a scoreboard on the refrigerator where I could see my progress. And just from that small switch, I saw a water bug and I'm like, yeah, shoot, I want to spray it because I want that point. I made it into a trackable, I used a trackable number. And if you notice, in each scenario, I keep saying I'm turning this into a game. Why? Because we are most driven by games. So if we can turn any task into a game, it'll be a lot easier. And if you look at video games, they literally do this. They show you trackable progress. They show you the deadlines you have to do things, and that drives you. So we're just putting what we already know into our real life to get us to do these things. That's how simple it is. So every time you're struggling with a task you don't want to do, just ask yourself, how can I turn this into a game? How can I add a trackable number to this? Or how can I add a deadline that will influence me to get it done? That's all you gotta do. And if you're wondering if this stuff really influences human behavior, you have a little bit of resistance, of course it influences human behavior, but we weren't taught that. We were taught how to follow orders from our higher ups, how to buy stuff but never save money, and how to entertain ourselves endlessly. We were not taught how to function as human beings. So yeah, this stuff may sound like weird, but this stuff actually works. And if you put it into your life, you will notice a difference. And if you're watching this video and you got this far, chances are you take your self-improvement seriously. If you want to level that up, the biggest thing you need to understand is your default mode that we're all living. You know what it is instinctively. Where we wake up and go to work, and come home and just watch TV, be on the phone, eat junk, go to sleep, and wait until the weekends to enjoy life and then back to work for 40 years into retirement. That's the default mode, and we have to get off of it. We have to learn how to live more intentional, because when you're more intentional, that is when you can bring the things you want into your life. It's only the ones that move with intention that get what they want because they're intentional about it. That's why I made a course called Live by Design. It'll be the first link in my description that shows you how exactly to approach each day with intention. Most people aren't teaching you how to execute on the things you want. And that's how you're gonna learn. That's what you're gonna learn in that course. So check it out if you are interested in that. And make sure that you're dropping any light bulb moments you've had throughout this video in the comments, so we can all share this information. But if you take this and you use this and you add ways you can see progress and you add deadlines into your tasks, you will not struggle to do those tasks. Life will seem more enjoyable because you're no longer grunting and struggling through these things and wondering like, oh my God, is this really what life is all about? It's like you're just having fun and playing games all day. Like life is literally just a game now to you. That's how awesome that is. Life is literally just a game to you now. But if you don't want to do this, you don't want to try this out, it's okay. Just know you're going to continue struggling. And that's as simple as I can make it. If you like this video and you want more, hit subscribe, like it, you know the drill, and I'll see you for the next video.